All right, guys, welcome to the Robert Show. And yes, we have our special guest. Obviously, I've been talking about it since I guess now forever because obviously it's Kate Strachnyi, the host of DATAcated Conference and the founder of DATAcated Conference. We'll be asking her about. We'll be talking around DATAcated Conference and how did she actually come up with DATAcated altogether such a huge conference, right? We've been hearing about it since almost 3 months now, 4 months now, and the last dedicated conference was a super success. So what I would urge everyone is to come out and ask questions about the dedicated conference because I'm sure there's so much around it. There's so much buzz that I've been hearing from folks that okay, we are attending the DATAcated conference, and I see the Ravit show, as a media partner too. So which is like a plus for me, and it's like a bonus for me. But then, without wasting any more time, let's have Kate here. Hey, Kate, 2 weeks to DATAcated conference.
2 weeks left. Thanks for having me back on the show, Ravit. Always fun to talk to you.
It's such a pleasure, right? Just wanted to ask you about, certainly the experience about this conference. We obviously know that you already hosted one back in October, but how's this going?
This one's it's going well. I think the experience of running a conference last year has definitely helped me prepare for this one. Although this is
Right.
going to be a little different, that it's 3 days versus just one. So I'll really have to pace myself and my energy and nerves.
Oh yeah, definitely. But obviously, I wanted to, we are here, and I always wanted to ask you some questions around the dedicated conference. I know for sure that we had a similar sort of session last year as well, just before the dedicated conference, and this year as well. And what's different about this year? I know you already have a target. You always keep a target. What's the target this time?
Yeah, so for signups, I'm still targeting 10,000, but I think it's becoming a
Wow.
tradition, Ravit, that you and I talk before the conference, we talk after the conference. We kind of have to
Exactly.
keep doing it now. But yeah, the goal, it is going to be slightly different this time around because it's moved from a 1 day, 4 hour event to a 3 day, 3 hours a day event.
Wow.
Now, so
Wow.
that's almost more than double actually in terms of the content that people are getting, but also instead of just having speakers come up for 10 minutes and then go to the next speaker, we're going to keep
Right.
speakers around for an extra 5 or 10 minutes after their talk to do live Q&A. So definitely engaging a lot more with the audience.
All right. So first, it was obviously just 4 hours continuous to one conference. That's it for one day. Now it's 3 days and 4 hours each day.
3 days, 3 hours each.
3 hours. All right. Superb. And how many speakers are coming on?
So it's going to be between 25 and 30. That's actually still being
Wow.
finalized over the next few weeks because we keep
Wow.
adding speakers for panel discussions, and I'm still trying to confirm a couple of more panelists, which will have either 3 people or 5 people, so it's hard to tell.
Right. Sounds superb. I think 25 is huge. I don't know how you're maintaining, you managing actually 25 speakers, but this time, do you have a team? Because I remember last time you were the only one working alone and you created such a huge conference. What about this time? How huge is the team?
Still alone. Yeah,
Oh
still
my.
alone.
Oh, but then it's so cool that you just manage so many speakers. I don't know how you do it because recently you just came up with a new course, data storytelling, if I'm not wrong.
Yes,
Can you
yes.
tell
So
us a
January
little about that too?
Yeah, absolutely. So January 21st, I
Yep.
launched my dedicated storytelling course from the Dedicated
Yep.
Academy. And that took up so much of my time and effort and energy and focus. But now that that's gone live, I'm going full force. The next 2 weeks, the only words you'll hear out of my mouth are dedicated conference. Anywhere and everywhere I could plug it, I will plug it. So I was really excited when you said you wanted to chat and go live. I'm like, yes, yes to everyone. Anyone who wants
Exactly.
me on their show the next 2 weeks, let's do it. I'm happy to, send that message. And main focus now is making sure everyone's got their dedicated T-shirts. I've got their talk titles. Things are on the calendar
Right.
properly. Everyone knows how to use StreamYard, because not every speaker has used StreamYard in the past. So making sure everyone's
Right.
comfortable. And also giveaways, right? So planning out how we're going to actually do giveaways with some of our really cool community partners, such as
Right.
PACT. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Yes, obviously, PACT is coming up, and PACT will be giving away many books in the conference, that is for sure. We are excited as well, equally excited to be on board as a community partner and proud to be a community partner with DATAcated Conference, obviously, because we know that there's so much, that Kate, the speakers actually provide in terms of the knowledge. And also, there are, the topic areas are wide. It's so wide that you've covered almost everything possible in data with such a huge list of speakers. So talking of that, Kate, what are you expecting? What would be the the takeaway for the audience this time? What all topic areas, and how do you explain those things?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go through a 3-day event. Each day is dedicated to a specific topic. So day one, which is February 9th, we kick things off with uncovering business value from data. And then we
Right.
go on to day two, which is all about exploring machine learning and AI trends. And then wrapping things up on day three, all about data storytelling and communicating with the business.
Kate, I'm stuck. I can hear you well.
Are you still there? I can
Yeah,
see
I'm here.
you. Oh, I can hear you, but you're frozen. I don't know what people are saying. Let us
Uh,
know which one of us is frozen. Also, if
so
it
yeah,
helps to read
Andrew.
the. Oh, yay. Yes, Andrew is a community partner. Thank you, Andrew. Um,
So
Ravi,
yes,
you mind if I
quick
share my
question
screen?
here. Yes, surely.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I wanted to introduce some of the speakers. So as I mentioned, here are the three conference themes that we're going to go across over 3 days. And then here are some of the speakers. We do have a couple more we're going to add, but we've got Ben Taylor, Cindy Hodson, we've got Ken G, probably some familiar names to people in the audience right now. Nico, Ina, Scott, we got Doug Laney, Harpreet, Susan Walsh, Brandon Hendricks. I won't go through all of them, but here they all are. We've got Kirk Bourne on there. Recently added Danny Moss, so Danny's there as well. Now it's a party. It's going to be
Wow.
super awesome with some really cool sponsors. Thank you again, guys, for Data Robot, ThoughtSpot, and Pyramid Analytics, as well as the great media partners and community partners. Look, we've got the Ravit Show right on here, along with Pact, Katie Nuggets,
Yay.
Andrew's Data Science Infinity, and more. I'm gonna go ahead and stop.
Amazing.
I'm hoping our stream is going well, because I don't know if people can hear.
I think it's well.
Okay,
It's all.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Amazing.
Manish.
So yes, well, Kate, what I had another question. What are the charges for the DATAcated conference?
It only takes your time. There is no money
Oh,
exchanged in the conference. This is free for everyone in the community to join. So you don't have to sign up to join the event, but I highly recommend you go and officially register, because that will give you chances to win goodies from community partners, as well as you'll get an email from me after the conference with some behind the stage scenes kind of what it takes to plan the event. And then you also get links to the recording of the conference. So yes,
wow.
free to attend. There you go. You answered my question, Ravi. It's free to attend.
Yes, exactly. This is superb, Kate. And so for the next 2 weeks, what's the plan? Uh, are there more speakers who are coming in, or are more partners, invited? Can we have more sponsors as well?
No, I actually had a couple of conversations recently where I had to say no to more sponsors, because we don't have any more speaking slots to provide. And part of sponsorship
Right.
includes, speaking at the conference. I always welcome community partners if, companies or people have
Yeah.
things they want to give away to the audience. So definitely welcoming all of that. but really exciting time. So the next 2 weeks, I should probably write this down, or I'll listen to myself later. Okay, Kate, this is what you have to do for the next 2 weeks. Make sure every speaker knows when they're speaking, what they're talking about, how to use StreamYard.
Right.
That's really takes away so much of my nervousness when a person has either been live with me before or I've spoken to them before. It becomes a lot more comfortable. And praying that people show up on time, that's another thing. My first conference actually went off really well, where we had 16 speakers with 10-minute slots, and it was very, very tight, but everyone showed up on time, so it was perfect. I'm hoping for a similar experience here. And then promoting the event, letting everybody I know about this event.
Yeah. So Kate, is it just limited to LinkedIn Live, or you streaming it on YouTube as well?
So yeah, it's double streamed on LinkedIn and YouTube. I'm actually exploring to see if I can triple or quadruple stream it to maybe Instagram and Facebook, but I'm still exploring that. I'm not sure if it's worth it. I don't have that big of an audience on there, but it could be fun.
Yeah, exactly. I think you get a wider range when you have many platforms coming in. So yes, makes sense. Another question, Kate. Since we're talking about the conferences, obviously I wanted to know about your favorite conferences. Which are your favorite conferences, and how often do you visit conferences?
Yeah, absolutely. So before COVID, in March last year, I actually used to go to every data conference that was near me, or even if it was not near me, I would fly to them. I went to Data Science Go. I went to ODSC. There's some in Canada, like San Francisco, Boston, like all over the place, because I truly love meeting people and talking to people and listening and learning from other speakers in the data space. So I think if I were to pick some that I think are doing a great job, I'd say Data Science Go and ODSC are doing a really great job with their events. They pack in a lot of content and a lot of value into their events.
Yes.
So definitely look up to them.
Amazing, Kate. And yes, I'm very much aware about the ODSC and Data Science Conference by Kirill. Those conferences have so much to, the content is so rich and there's so much to learn in there. So yeah, makes sense. Another one, Kate, when do you plan to make, obviously we are in a situation where physical conferences are not possible at the moment, but do you plan to make DATAcated Conference or physical conference anytime soon, or do you have any plans as such?
That actually scares me so much, the thought of it. But what's interesting, before I ever launched a virtual conference, it was on my mind, because I had that term DATAcated in my mind. And I told a couple of friends, I'm like, you probably see the DATAcated Conference come up once in the future. And in my mind, it was a physical event. But then because of COVID, it kind of opened up my eyes. I'm like, wait, I could just do this virtually, and I could just do this. And then I did it. So I think it scares me, but I think it would be so much fun to gather everybody in person. So I'm going to say yes. I think if the world goes back to the way things were before, people can actually walk around and shake hands and be in the same room without fear, then I would love to. I don't know where I would host it, because New York is so expensive, but figure something out.
Oh, wow. Okay, can't wait actually, because the energy that you have and the energy that you create while, even getting closer to the date and hosting the whole show for, obviously the first conference went on for 4 hours, but you looked the same from first minute to the last minute of the conference, and you were out there, you were like all confident, and I don't know how nervous you were, but can share some experiences about the first conference. What was it, throughout the journey? How did it go?
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember very clearly, I barely had breakfast because it was at 10 a.m. for me to 2 p.m., right? So 4 hours. I was too nervous to eat. I'm like, okay, I think I had a boiled egg. I made myself eat it. And I, kicked things off around 9 o'clock with a few of the speakers that are going to start the session. So they were on behind, in the green room with me. And that really helped me calm my nerves, just talking to other people about, hey, we're about to do this. The minute I clicked live, I was the most nervous because I didn't know how many people would show up. Will my internet break? Will StreamYard break? Will LinkedIn break? Who knows? Will my kids run in? All these thoughts. But every 10 minutes or so, I would get a break because a new speaker would come in and they would take the stage. So I was able to kind of relax for very, very little. And then I couldn't eat lunch because again, I was too nervous. So finally after the event, like around 2, 3 o'clock, I ate, and then all I wanted to do was go to sleep because I was all overly excited during that whole session. Yes.
Oh my goodness. But and what are the post effects of hosting a conference? How does it feel? How many people reach out to you? Because what was the registration last time? Was it above more than 7,000 folks?
Yeah, it was 7,100 people actually registered, and we had close to
Oh,
30,000 people view the event at some point in time. So yes, I definitely had a lot of people reach out, and a lot of great
exactly.
comments came in. It's almost like you're on cloud nine, it's just so much excitement. Now I don't know what I'm going to do because it's a 3-day event. So at the
Exactly.
end of that one, I was like, okay, whew, I can relax. That's it, just enjoy. And for me, it's going to be like, relax. Okay, but then there's day 2. Then relax. Okay, now day 3. So it's a little different.
No, but
Yeah.
I can completely understand because it's considering once I go live on the Ravit show as well, if I have a guest and there's a preparation obviously for a week or something, and then you have the prep session where you're talking to the guest and you're knowing each other very well and all of those things, and once you're done you feel like, okay, I've just done something and feels good about it. Now I can just imagine what you must be going, because there are thousands of folks who are actually looking and who are actually attending the event and are actually expecting something out of the event. So it kind of you were just kind of responsible for them, because you've spoken so much about DATAcated Conference, but obviously it highly depends on the speakers as well, but at the same time you're the whole and soul. And the most shocking part is obviously because you're running this alone, which is like a huge task. So when do you plan to hire a team?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was actually talking to somebody right before I got on this live event with you about potentially bringing on somebody to the team. Oh, look, dedicated to impact education. Thanks, Coach. Yes, I think eventually I will have a team. Right now, I do have trouble delegating. I feel like I need to do it all myself. I'm trying new things, but yeah, when the right person comes along. Actually, if somebody in the
Definitely.
audience is listening and they think that they're the right person, hit me up. I mean, happy to have a conversation.
Amazing, Kate. And who would not want to actually join hands with obviously DATAcated Conference? It's an amazing, place to visit. Amazing place to actually be there and learn so many things from so many different speakers. Because it's like you've brought everyone together to one place for now 3 days. First it was just 4 hours, but now
Yeah.
it's for 3 days, and everyone just needs to be out there and block their calendar for DATAcated Conference. That's what I have done. And yes, one of the that's one of the bounty that I get, and being packed as a community partner for DATAcated, that okay, you get those 3 hours for DATAcated Conference. You can go visit and you can chat with folks. And obviously my personal experience with DATAcated Conference is amazing, because you get to know so many people, you
Yeah.
interact with so many people, and it's not like because it's virtual event so you need to be out there, and it's not necessary for you to talk, but you can actually chat with people who are around. um, um, so that gives you that space to actually have your contacts, your networking very well hit in place. So yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
that was
super.
part of the reason why I decided to host it on LinkedIn is because typically you go to conferences and you meet people, let's say physically, and you're like, "Ooh, how
Right.
do I find you? What's your LinkedIn, right? Or what's your?"
Exactly.
But here, when you're
Exactly.
talking or you're commenting and engaging, like you guys can literally see each other, and if you wanted to continue a conversation or connect, it's right in there. You're already on the platform,
Exactly.
so trying to remove
True.
that friction.
Amazing. So yeah, that's one of the best things, Kate. And yeah, it was. Can't wait for DATAcated Conference, Kate. And for the next 2 weeks, I definitely know that you are out there. You just hitting DATAcated Conference everywhere. So yes. Okay. One last question from my end, Kate, before we wrap up. what is one of the best things about the conference that you like? I know there might be many best things, but one best thing that you feel that okay, this is the reason I love hosting, conference. What is that?
Yeah, I think it's being able to be creative and kind of control and curate the experience for everybody else. So being able to say, okay, I want to make a 3-day event, right? And having the flexibility to make those decisions without going to somebody and saying, hey, can I do this 3-day event or should it be 2 days or 4 days? So being able to make those decisions on my own and then obviously paying the price if it's terrible, right? But also selecting the speakers that I think would be a good fit and giving them a platform to share their message, as well as giving value to the community. So I think it's a combination of all those things that make me love it so much. And only recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before, there was one blog company that posted the top 10 conferences for 2021,
Oh yeah.
and the DATAcated conference was on there. And honestly, I got emotional. I'm like, oh my God, my conference is real. Like, because it's real to me, obviously, but having other people, just random strangers, recognize it as a real event for me just meant so much. I don't know why.
Yes, exactly. It's such a proud feeling, right? Because you just started off, just like, say
3 months
4 or 5 months back, 3 months
ago.
exactly, just three
Oh, yeah,
months
the last
ago, and
one.
well, so it looks like you're just out there and people know about it and people are actually looking forward to it. It's such a proud feeling. I can just imagine. But yeah, Kate, amazing, amazing stuff, and can't wait for the DataCated conference. Just before we wrap up, I wanted to ask where can actually folks register? I already know.
Yes, so you can go to storybydata.com and then just click on DATAcated Conference, and that's going to be the easiest way to find it. Yep, it's only like your name, your email, company, and title, and then you're in. You get on the registration list, and you'll get all the goodies that come along with all the conference goodies.
Amazing, Kate. Okay, so 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th Feb. It's
Yes.
these are the 3 days.
Can't believe
Amazing.
it's almost February. Going crazy.
Yes. Wow, this looks super fun, Kate. Can't wait for it. And yes, definitely looking forward to this one and many more.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me back on the show, Ravi.
Anytime, Kate. It's your show. You can always be here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Kate. Thank you very much. And thanks for sharing your data-cated story and data-cated conference. All the best.
Awesome. Have a good day.
Yes. Bye bye.